and welcome to a video that is going to be all about this, my lightsaber. Some of you will have seen it before. I've done posts on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook about it as well, but this video was just to reply to some of the comments that I've had and just to give people a better idea and a closer look at the thing itself. And hopefully you'll leave this video knowing a bit more than you did before about it all. But I'm also aware a lot of you are probably part of the lightsaber community already, in which case you'll probably know a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say about it. Equally, I kind of want to talk about why I think it's so important and such a big piece in Star Wars history, and why it's so important to me personally as well. So yeah, we've got a lot to look at. I will grab my phone, come round and give everyone a closer look, because I think that's what most of you will be here for, not listening to me and this terrible audio, which is being recorded from my phone, balancing on a pint glass.
So I have removed the audio from these clips because I'm a little bit nervous about copyright. So I will just do a rendition of what was there before. Dee 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 dee. And this is a TikTok that I made. It was just to show the inside of the lightsaber really, and then when I was filming it the crystal turned red, so I put in a few images to reflect the dark side of the saber, and once I turned on the lightsaber and it went to blue, I just did a few images to show the good side of the saber and all the history it's been on. So back to the video now. So for those of you that didn't know, the original lightsaber prop is actually an old camera Graflex flash handle. So that is it there in its original form. And that is also why in Star Wars A New Hope, Graflex is stamped across the clamp. Now, the story goes that Roger Christian was tasked of finding this prop. He got sent out by George Lucas, that is, to find the all-important prop. And apparently while he was out, he stumbled across a photography store, and in that photography store was a dusty old box full of these. He apparently knew straight away that that was it, this was the prop. He took them back to George and the prop department came up with this. They put grips on here, they put a D-ring there so it could attach to Luke's belt. They put a bubble strip in, which came from an old calculator. And they probably did a lot of other things that I'm forgetting to mention. So a second ago, I mentioned Star Wars A New Hope specifically, and that is because mine is configured to look like it did in that original movie. The prop department weren't that consistent with how they made it look, so it varies from movie to movie, but I always found the New Hope version so special because that's when we first saw it. Like, for me personally, this moment, this scene, and just him holding it, you know, that's when I fell in love with it. And nothing will ever beat and replicate that feeling of when I first held this. I felt like I was in the movie, like I became a kid again, and it was just the best feeling in the world. So I always wanted it in the New Hope configuration. Other people have it in Empire Strikes Back, or even The Force Awakens, and The Rise of Skywalker is the final movie called. I'm not that great on the sequels, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I just found this to be the most, you know, special to me. Now, you can pay thousands for, well, anything between £300 and £1,000 and above for the original Graflex flash handle. Like, you can still find them on eBay, it varies on their condition. Mine is not an original Graflex. I have toyed about it for years and years. Do I spend that kind of money? But as time went by, this saber became more and more special to me. Like, I've got so many memories with it. Each, you know, blemish and scratch and bit of rust tells like my journey, all the walks that this has been on with me. My nephews and nieces have held this, my parents have held this. You know, there's scratches here that I know my niece made, and that's a nice memory for me. So to replace that, I just couldn't do it. Like, this is so special to me personally, and if I changed the body itself, it just wouldn't feel like mine anymore, you know? So although mine, I think I've probably spent over £1,000 on it by now. I got a guy to do the electronics from me, which I will show you in a minute. And I have gradually over time made this as accurate as I can with all the different bits and pieces that we sort of discovered as we could view the movies in better sort of definition than ever. So the more we discovered. But yeah, I think I've rambled on enough. I think you get the idea, and I will now show you a little bit of the electronics. I believe there is it's called crystal focus inside here, the technology that is used inside. There are far superior sound boards that you can have in lightsabers now. I've had this since 2018 and I don't want to change it. Like I said earlier, that it's special to me and I just don't want to change it right now in my life. But I will give you guys an idea of what it's like and what it looks like inside. And I think there's 12 different sound fonts, which I will try and show you. Before I go any further, I completely forgot to say the body itself is from the Graflex shop. So if you just type Graflex shop into Google, there are so many different versions and so many accessories that come with it. On top of that, I forgot to say why I chose, you know, there's so many different lightsabers in Star Wars, but I chose this one because of its history. Like, this is Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. He built it. This thing saw so much. I mean, it's seen everything, hasn't it? Like, people call this the Youngling Slayer 3000. I mean, he took over the Jedi Temple with this lightsaber. And then, obviously, it was handed down to Luke. And then the story continued from there onwards. So I just always thought this was such a special lightsaber and such a big part of Star Wars history. And it just feels like it, you know, when you hold it and you imagine everything it's been through. That's just how my mind works, and that's why I love this particular prop so much. Look at the state of this angle. I am so sorry, guys. I don't have a tripod for my phone, so I'm going to try and make this work best I can. But let's have a look inside and at the electronics. So you raise the clamp lever like that. You then twist and pull, and then that is what the inside looks like. So here is the crystal. All lightsabers are powered by kyber crystals. So that is there. And then there is a little door around here. God, this is hard to do. And you pull this, and that activates the lightsaber. And I reckon this is going to sound absolutely horrific on my phone, but I'm going to activate the saber now. And there is the crystal all lit up. I'm so sorry if this sounds absolutely horrific. So yeah, I mean, it's very basic as far as sabers go these days. There's no smooth swing, there's nothing like that. There is flash on clash, and I mean, it does the job. I absolutely love it. I've always loved it, but I am aware there are far more superior technology inside these things now. I will try and show you some of the sound fonts if I can remember how you even do it, so bear with me.
Okay, so I am going to attempt to show you a sound font now. I believe there is 12. I won't show you 12. You've not got time for that. But I will try and find a fun one for you guys. I think it's set on the one where it's from A New Hope. So you get quotes from Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan and Harrison Ford as Han Solo, which is a nice little touch if all goes smoothly when I'm trying to show you. But there's some really good fun ones on there, like you can play the entire soundtrack of Star Wars, which I can imagine would be super fun for some people, you know, spinning this thing around with like the theme music playing, like that's so cool for some like Star Wars fans. I can imagine that would be really good fun. Acting like I've not done it, I definitely have. Um, but yeah, let's have a look. Hopefully we get some cool quotes. It's completely random, so I never know what it's going to do. Okay. If you can even hear that, I reckon it's going to sound, you know, not great for you guys, so I'm sorry. So yeah, this is just, I mean, you won't be able to clock it because I'm filming on my phone, but that is from A New Hope. So they would have grabbed the soundbite of Luke booting the lightsaber up in this movie and, you know, transferred it into here. Same with closing it down. Okay, so you got a bit of Alec Guinness there. That sounded really intense in my ear, so I think my ears might be bleeding, so I don't know what that's going to sound like on there. But yeah, you guys get the idea by now. I won't ramble on anymore, as this is probably quite a long video, but thank you so much to anyone who watched this. Again, I'm sorry for how it sounds and how everything looks. It's not ideal, but I just wanted to make it as a bit of fun on my phone. So yeah, I hope you're all well and have at least learned one or two things from this video, and I'll catch you soon.